Zone, the homeowner's best friend.
I've never heard anybody talking about using sheep's wool as a composting material or a garden amendment or a soil amendment. Did you get the sheep for this, or you had the sheep for another purpose and this just kind of naturally discovered it?
I think it came around because I had the sheep, and anybody who has sheep, especially that have to be sheared, I mean, this is around the time I start shearing my sheep, is that we're going to have the good wool that we can weave into fabric and, pillow stuffing and stuff like that. That's the majority of the sheep wool. But then we got the tail end sheep wool that comes out a little bit more fluffy and has dingleberries, if you know what I'm talking about. So we got a little bit more nutrient around that part of the sheep, and it doesn't come off in bigger pieces that you can really do anything with. It's not worth washing. It's not worth cleaning. And so here's this stuff I've got, and what do I do with that? And so we start realizing, well, there's a lot of nutrient in it, and it's got some good, it holds moisture seemingly a lot better than some of the other parts of the sheep wool. And so it's like, what do we do with those entrail sheep wool? And that's the part that becomes really valuable and can be integrated right into your garden. And you weave it in a similar manner. You don't want any more than 1/3 of your soil to have a bunch of sheep wool in it. And we want it broken down into small pieces. And so that's what we have essentially with those end parts, the wool coming off the feet, around the face, other little parts. It's like they're just little pieces. It's like cotton ball looking things that are floating around. And that's the kind of stuff that we then use. And we can actually soak it in some compost tea, and then we stick it in the garden. And now you're like long range. It's like now you got long-term bioactive nutrient that we're now applying to the soil. That's even more valuable. So it's kind of a new age thing. Those who own sheep have kind of always done it, but now people are starting to hear about, hey, this might be a viable alternative to and renewable option to specifically the sphagnum peat moss.